Hey everyone, I just wanted to give update. Obviously, I'm back home in Toronto. I got back last night. Not the welcome I expected, but I'll get to that in a second. So I finished up at the Cellular Institute in Gypsa yesterday in Tijuana. I published the interview I did with my doctor. I apologize for the audio of it. I didn't. I wish I had had my proper audio cables and stuff, but it was really good, very informative. I thank her so much, and I think there was a lot of great information in there, and even the feedback I've gotten from folks, it seems to have really helped out folks. So anyone who needs further information on that, I highly suggest reaching out to the Cellular Performance Institute themselves, and because it's quite remarkable what they're doing. Any event, so Friday night I stayed in Tijuana, and then to prepare for my flight back on Saturday. I was going to come back on Friday, but they asked me to stay extra just because I was pretty rough. To put it into perspective, I'm not sure if I mentioned in the video or not, but it turns out that my particular case was one of the worst they have ever seen, unfortunately. The disc in my neck have really deteriorated. They're really banged up, everything, the facets, everything. Anyway, so fingers crossed that everything's going to work. But as a result of that, I'm in a lot of pain. I knew it was going to be anyway, and all of us that went through the different things, as we talked about in the previous video, it can cause a lot of discomfort. But in my case, because things were so dormant for so long, and it's been pretty rough. So I've been, pretty sedated. So Saturday, yeah, I was picked up Saturday morning. Driver from the hospital who was wonderful. Went through across the border, San Diego border from Mexico. No problems. Actually, the border patrol, he was really nice. He asked me if I had anything to declare, and I said, "Yeah, pain." We had quite a laugh and cracked up. But yeah, really nice U.S. border patrol officers there. Really nice. And then we got to San Diego International, and same thing there, no real issues. When I was boarding through Air Canada, they had wanted me to, they were inquiring about this ArriveCan app that we have in Canada. It's essentially it's some sort of tracking app that they have for folks for vaccination purposes and all this kind of stuff. I don't have the app. And honestly, I've read through the terms and conditions, and I'm a little sketchy around it. But I was also told by the Border Patrol that it wasn't necessary for me because I was gone for medical reasons. And apparently in that app, there's nothing there in their questionnaire. There's nothing around anything around that. Now I don't know because I don't have the app. In the event, they said it wasn't necessary. I could just board. Luckily, also I was in a lot of pain and pretty sedated, and I was with my friend Peter Montrait. So Peter was there with me having some work done. Peter's from Toronto. He is a former pro Muay Thai fighter, MMA fighter. He has a school downtown, Montrait Muay Thai. So he's Kru Peter, teacher Peter. So great guy. I don't know what I would have done without him by my side. And I think I have a new friend for life there. He's a wonderful guy. Anybody in the Toronto area, especially downtown, if you're looking for Muay Thai, he's your man. Like not just Muay Thai, but he knows nutrition, uh, physiology, everything inside and out, a wealth of knowledge. So highly recommend. I'll put a link in there to him. So thanks, Peter. So we went through there at San Diego, got our flight back uneventful, great flight actually, back to Toronto, and then we arrived in Toronto. So we arrived in Toronto. We were going, everything was fine. We're going through customs, or got into customs. Basic asked me where I was coming from, that kind of thing. No issues. And then they asked me if I had the ArriveCan app. I said no, and explained the same thing. And I had a letter also from the hospital that indicated why I had gone down there. And so actually, even on that, I think the reason I had it is because I did a lot of research before I went, and Yeah, it was from the government of Canada for people leaving from medical treatment and returning to Canada. It said, upon return to Canada, written evidence from a licensed healthcare practitioner in the foreign country indicated treatment or services you were provided in that country. So obviously, I had that from the Cellular Performance Institute. So I showed him this, and but this time around, it wasn't enough. So they called a police officer over, actually. So again, the police officer asked me about this app and whatnot, and I said I didn't have it, and he said, "Well, I'm going to have to see public health." I indicated, well, I really wasn't comfortable because, quite frankly, I was really sedated and out of it. I just wanted to get home. He indicated that if I don't go see public health, that I was going to be arrested. Yes, you heard right. I was going to be arrested because I didn't have an app. This kind of shook me up, and Peter was hoping to stay with me, but it wasn't. I told him he may as well just go on. He stuck around for a bit, but anyway, I went to see the public health officer. I honestly didn't think much of it. I just thought it was just going to be a formality. I explained to the public health officer the same thing, that I had gone down for this extensive, expensive medical procedure. Honestly, he didn't really care. He was just, adamant that I would download this app. I indicated to him again that, I'm not that comfortable with the terms and conditions of this app. I'm just not familiar enough with it, just not comfortable. And furthermore, it's indicated that I really don't need it. He suggested I did. And then the police officer again, and luckily I videotaped this because, I gave the police officer something that Border Patrol had told me. Like, Border Patrol told me I really didn't need this thing when I had called ahead. And this is what I'd gotten from the government of Canada. This is literally from the government of Canada website. Travelers with a right of entry, such as Canadian citizens, permanent residents, and persons registered under the Indian Act, will not be denied boarding of their flight or entry into Canada if they do not use ArriveCan. So obviously, I felt fine. I was going to be covered there. The officer, again on video, said he doesn't really care what's on a piece of paper. And he said, I have two options. He said, I'm not denying you entry into Canada. You either download the app or we will fine you. Again, I didn't want to rock the boat. I was very calm in the situation, but I was so sedated and in so much pain. I just wanted to go home. So I was like, you know what, just issue me the fine and I'll deal with it. I didn't think much of it, to be honest. So the public health officer asked me for my passport. Again, struck me as very odd because it's something that I don't hand over to anyone. And, so I indicated I'm not comfortable with doing this, handing over my passport. And he says, well, it's not your passport. It's actually the government of Canada. I found this a little odd. I just want to check on my phone here. I just want to make sure I'm still recording because yeah, okay. So I found that odd. He was like, it's not your passport. Now, maybe that's true or not, but he said, it's not your passport. It's property of the government of Canada. So he took my passport and went off with it. He came back with a ticket, which shocked me. The ticket is for $6,255. Failure to comply with an order prohibiting or subjecting to any condition the entry into Canada Quarantine Act 58. It doesn't say anything about this app, this ArriveCan app or anything, as you can hear in this. I actually looked up the Quarantine Act that they indicate in Section 58. There is literally nothing in there about ArriveCan. It's just around complying with quarantine protocols, which I did. Like everything there was no questions around any of that. I think at one point earlier on, they had asked me if my vaccination status, and I just said, I'm not comfortable disclosing personal information like that. I found that really odd, and you no longer have to. But they didn't press that. So the only thing they were very pressing was this: I'm adamant about downloading this app, which again just raised a lot of alarm bells for me. And now I have this ticket. The ticket is again odd because nothing about the app, And when I go to Section 58, there's literally nothing in there about ArriveCan apps. It's all about this quarantine protocols and stuff. And on that note, also was interesting. He asked me if I have a place to quarantine for 2 weeks. I said yes. As a matter of fact, because of my condition, I'm going to be off for 2 weeks, and I'm actually ordered home. I can't leave for 2 weeks. And he said, is there somebody there? I said, yes, my partner. He said, can you, sleep separately and all that kind of stuff? I said, yep, no problem. She works from home as well, so we'll comply to anything. Here's the funny part. He said, okay, well, do you have a drive home? And I said, yes, the partner. Oh, okay, that's great. So, although I'm not allowed to be with her or around her at home, it was okay for her to drive me there. Name of science, I guess? I don't know. It's very odd. The whole thing is odd. Needless to say, it gave me a lot of anxiety there. I found it very intimidating, very pressured. One other thing I thought was interesting, I asked the officer a couple of questions, and he indicated that he's not there on behalf of the police. He's subcontracted out to public health. And I asked why, and he said, for their protection. So I said, well, who's there for my protection? Again, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around all this. And it was nothing I've ever come across in any country before. It was very, extremely intimidating, more intimidating than I've had going into what we would call like third world countries. It was extremely intimidating and extremely nerve wracking. Frankly, I was just glad just to get the ticket and get out of there. I looked up this ordinance, the 58 thing about today, because last night I came home very upset about this whole situation. I was so happy to arrive home and see my dogs and see my partner and stuff, but it really took the joy away from that, and a lot of anxiety around this massive fine. Although I've reached out to people who are telling me, I shouldn't have too much to worry about because, everything that I just indicated to you, but it really has, I'm going to be honest, has really saddened me. I love my country very much, and I found this an extremely bizarre situation to receive a $6,000 fine for not having a phone app. What is so special about this phone app that they're willing to detain, arrest, threats of arrest and fines if I don't have an app on my phone? Very odd. Anyway, aside from that, I was in a lot of pain. They gave me a protocol for my medication and stuff, which I took last night. And boy, did I crash. I crashed out last night and I slept for, oh my God, over 12 hours. I didn't wake until 12:30 in the afternoon. I must have been very exhausted from this entire ordeal and trip. And it was good to get a good night's sleep. Felt much better today. Each day, the pain is getting a little less, which is great. As I indicated off the top, I am nervous because they said it is the worst case they've seen. I'd be happy if things just, stay as they are and don't get worse. If there is, improvement, that's even a bonus. But I'm feeling optimistic. I'm not going to lie, nerve pain is pretty bad. To put in context, like as the nerves are coming back, like even doing this again, just brushing my skin, it's the nerve endings are extremely sensitive. I even washing my hands with hot water. The right hand is so sensitive to hot water. But again, I'm though it's a lot of pain, I'm optimistic about it because a lot of the pain is in places that I never even had feeling before. One example is along my forearm here. My grip strength had really, really deteriorated because these muscles were not being used much, and they started lighting up. So I'm hoping it's because the feeling is coming back there and stuff. I have to take it easy. I've been ordered, if you will, by my doctor to take a couple extra weeks off work just because my situation is so rough. I'm not even allowed to walk my dog. So luckily my partner has extra work for her, but she's going to be taking the dogs out periodically. I just have to lay low, know exercising of any kind for a few weeks. In a couple weeks, I will be allowed, I think 2 weeks, I'll be allowed to start taking light walks and stuff. I forget what I'll do another update around the protocol, but eventually I'm going to be able to do light body weight exercise and things of that nature. But I think it's within 2 months. Well, I will be back to more normal, fitness levels and stuff. I've already noticed. I actually dieted down in preparation for this. So I usually walk around at about 170, 175. I decided to diet down for this because I thought it would be better having all those modalities were, less tissue to deal with. So I actually dieted down quite quickly to 155 pounds. I could fluctuate my weight quite easily. Just intermittent fasting in my particular diets that I do. So I am rather thin for me right now. So I'll keep it at that. I think it's a good weight while I recover. I just want to keep good nutritional food, relaxation, and just kind of let nature take its course and heal up. Nighttime is definitely the worst, trying to get comfortable to sleep. A lot of the pain, like I said, one time it'll be like along my forearm, then it might switch and then the pain is on this side or whatever. Like I find it down across my back of my tricep, but this part of my tricep had gone dead. It wasn't working for the past year or so. And now it's actually flexing. So it's incredible, but it hurts. So, yeah, that's essentially where we are in the update. I'm going to continue through this. So my progression as I, heal up, I'll, take you folks through it up to I have to go back in 3 months. They want me to come down for an overall checkup to see how things are progressing and recovering. Hopefully they are, and I'm on that path. I can't thank enough for everyone who is reaching out and with support and stuff. And also I'm having a lot of people contacting me. I'm surprised that many people are seeing this with this progression of my time through the treatment. And so a lot of people are coming with questions and are now looking at these alternative options. Like one gentleman was just about to go in for surgery on L5S1 in his lower lumbar, who's now putting pause so he can contact the Cellular Performance Institute to see if he could be a potential candidate. That's awesome. If anybody can escape scalpel for this, and it helps them, I've done my job here. It's more than enough. I can't thank the people there. I know I've said it in many videos, but everyone was my God, are so helpful, so wonderful, so caring. Just the amount of empathy and genuine care is something that I've never experienced, honestly, in any medical setting in my entire life. And it's I wish it could be emulated elsewhere. It's a wonderful thing what they're doing down at CHPSA and the Cellular Performance Institute, and I know it's growing there, and I can't wait to see where they take things. One of the other reasons, honestly, when I go back, is because they are going to be publishing and doing a lot of papers on the work that they're doing. So folks like me are a good case study, I think. Where I was so rough, I was one of their worst cases, probably if not the worst, and they could go back now, or in 3 months when I go back, we'll be able to see where I am, and hopefully there is enough healing there that they could use that data as well. So rambling on again as usual. I'll try to wrap it up. I want to, thanks to everyone, thanks to the whole crew that were there with me. I can't remember everybody who was there, Corey and Matt and all the folks that were there having treatments. Thank you so much. Peter, who has shouted out, I've got a new friend, man, and it means a lot. You're a great guy. And again, folks, looking for a nutritionist, sports athlete, Muay Thai in Toronto, Peter's your dude. Check him out downtown. And that's where I guess I'll keep you also abreast on the legal side of it in this ridiculous ticket. I mean, obviously I'm not going to pay it, and I will fight it in court, meaning so I will submit that to go to trial and see what happens there. I was not expecting that after a very, very expensive treatment of going down there to heal, to come back to a $6,000 ticket for not having a phone app. All I can do is laugh, right? So hopefully that works out. Anyway, that's it. I hope that was, I didn't want it to be negative on that because overall I'm feeling great and that's where my energy is going to be focused. And I think that that's where I need to focus. I can't let the negativity of what's happening in Canada and all these ridiculous, mandates and issues that we're having. I mean, even this week I heard that now, while we were away, there was a mention of having vaccines every 3 months. Um, I find that a little odd. I need to look into it. I think if something's a vaccine that you need to take it every 3 months, it seems a little odd. So I'm not sure how much validity there is to that. Doesn't sound right to me. So hopefully I'm wrong. But anyway, that's where we are. I got to stay healthy. I want you to stay healthy. Follow along my path, my journey. Thank you everyone for your support. Couldn't have done it without you. And doing these videos actually even, motivated me, inspired me to continue on that healing journey. So thank you everyone. We'll talk soon. Thanks for following along. Wuss.